Hey, it's Football Diehards senior editor Bob Harris. It's time for the Week 15 injury preview, review, update, and overview thing we like to do every week. It's very important this week. It's playoff time. We understand that, so we'll grind through this. If you just showing up for the week or getting in their Saturday games, remember that. So we've got the Bengals and Vikings are ongoing. Justin Jefferson was active in this game, so we'll have a couple more Saturday games I'll get to as well. I'll give you all this week's pertinent injuries and do them chronologically to give you an understanding what fallbacks you might need to have in place. It's a little more complicated with Saturday games, right? I'll also remind you I record this early Saturday afternoon, so it's about 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, and things will change after I record this. So once you've watched this video, hit the late breaking news section of the site for any possible updates that may occur, or better still, hit the FSP staff cheat sheet. It's kind of a one-stop shop that will link to all the latest information for every player all in one location. So if a player you're hoping to play is way down low in the rankings and there's a note, click that note and think out why. Or player you think is way higher than he should be, probably a reason for that too, and it's probably explained in the link. So with that out of the way, let's dive into the festivities for this week. Again, week 15, no bye teams, so that makes it a little easier. But again, 3 Saturday games. Vikings and Bengals ongoing. Justin Jefferson playing. Nick Mullins started at quarterback. Josh Dobbs inactive today. So so far, early on, the Vikings are up on the Bengals. Ty Chandler getting the job done with Alexander Madison also ruled out of this game. So Ty Chandler got the start at running back. Steelers at the Colts are in the middle game today, a little later this afternoon. All the pieces you expect to play. Nobody on the injury report of interest to fantasy managers. The Broncos are the Lions tonight in Detroit. Josh Reynolds is listed as questionable in this game. He is the only player with an injury designation that we're interested in. Greg Dulcich trying to come back from IR. The tight end for the Broncos will not make it back this week. We'll go to the Sunday, the early afternoon kickoffs. The Falcons are at the Panthers. No major injury issues to worry about. Ian Thomas, the tight end, has been ruled out for the Carolina Panthers. Hayden Hurst finally placed on IR. He had that post-traumatic amnesia issue he was dealing with. They say he'll be okay, but he is on IR, so they won't bring him back or rush him back to the season. That's great. Everyone else is good to go in this game. Great matchup for Bijan Robinson, of course. And Chuba Hubbard seems like a viable play. The pieces here you want to go with. All of them will be available. The Chiefs are at the Patriots. Gets tricky here. Isaiah Pacheco out this week, maybe beyond, but not sure to be beyond. He had a procedure done on his shoulder to clean out some loose bodies, is what Andy Reid described. He had surgery on the shoulder in the offseason. Missed last week's game. CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Jerick McKinnon kind of split the workload. Expect more of the same, maybe dependent on the game script in New England. I don't know that McKinnon doesn't have a role in both the run game and the pass game, where CEH seems a little more run dependent. But anyway, I mean, you kind of know how it works out. It's a tough defensive matchup against the Patriots. On the other side of the ball, Ramondre Stevenson out again this week. Ezekiel Elliott clear past the workload. We saw what that did for him last week. Chiefs are a pretty tough matchup, but the running back has been a consistently productive piece, whether it's been Stevenson prior to his injury, the ankle injury that's holding him out for a second straight game, or Elliott last week had a huge game in a win for them, for the Patriots. Juju Smith-Schuster, Devontae Parker, and Tyquan Thornton all listed as questionable for this game. Thornton added kind of in the middle of the week, so a little less certain with him, a hamstring issue. Parker missed the last game with the same knee issue. Juju played and played well. Demario Douglas returns from a 2-game absence due to concussion. He is back, cleared, and off the injury report. The Giants are at the Saints. Watch this afternoon. Darren Waller has been designated to return from IR. He's practiced this week. Will he be activated? That has to happen by 4 p.m. Eastern time in order for him to be eligible, and even then he'll be questionable. So watch him. I don't know if there's any reason to be forcing him back into lineups at this point, other than Tommy DeVito's playing really well. The Saints, not a great matchup. And it's in New Orleans. On the other side of the ball, Chris Olave, a true game time decision, has an ankle injury this week. Last week it was an illness. This week it's an ankle injury. Rashid Shaheed, though, should return. Taysom Hill's back in the mix, both off the injury report. Jamal Williams listed as questionable in this one as well. So maybe a little more work for our guy, Alvin Kamara. And by the way, Kendre Miller was also ruled out, so kind of has become fantasy irrelevant due to his inability to stay on the field or be part of the mix. The Jets are at the Dolphins. A lot of things going on here. Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane both listed as questionable. It's the ankle injury that Hill suffered Monday night against the Titans. You saw it, the combo horse collar hip drop tackle, not good. He's pushing to play, obviously wants to stay on pace to have the 2,000-yard season. Mike McDaniel basically said it'll be decided on a conversation with the player and the training staff. If Hill is confident that he can make it through the game, that will be part of the equation. We saw this offense was not nearly as good with Hill not on the field. As for Achane, haven't heard a hell of a lot, right? They're not saying a whole lot about him. So I'm a little concerned. It's a toe injury. It's not the ongoing knee issue or the issue that's kept him out in the past. It's a new injury. It's a toe injury. So I'd be very cautious with this one. On the other side of the ball, the Jets, everyone's good to go. Brees Hall removed from the injury report on Friday. And he played well despite his ankle last week. I may have overplayed that my own self. The Bears are at the Browns in Cleveland. Joe Flacco gets to start at quarterback again, signed to a new contract that'll pay him handsomely depending on the success of the team. Well done, Joe Flacco. No injury issues on that side of the ball. Everyone who was on the injury report came off. Kareem Hunt, Jerome Ford, David Njoku, Amari Cooper, all cleared and no injury designations. DJ Moore for the Bears, though, does have an injury designation. He's questionable. Matt Eberflus said on Friday that he is trending, he being Moore, trending in a positive direction. My expectation is he'll play, but you'll want to have a fallback option in this case. For the Texans, they're at Tennessee, and it seems like almost impossible CJ Stroud will play. He's listed as doubtful, hadn't been in the building through Friday. So it's hard to go through the concussion protocol and increase activities. Maybe he did. I don't know. They're saying he's doubtful, and we'll know this afternoon. But the big reporting is that it will be Case Keenum that starts at quarterback and not Davis Mills if Stroud can't go. So I'm going to assume Stroud can't go with the doubtful designation, barring the final word probably later this afternoon, maybe tomorrow. But expect Case Keenum to start. Will he have Nico Collins? Seems unlikely. Collins didn't practice all week. He is listed as questionable. So there's a chance we'll see if he makes the trip or not. That might be a contributing factor. Noah Brown is questionable. He is more likely to play. Seems trending in a more positive direction. He was questionable last week as well. Been nursing a knee injury. This might be box checking by the Texans. He misses some practice time. They want to list him as questionable. Dalton Schultz off the injury report. He will be back. On the other side of the ball, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine came down with an illness this week. He's listed as questionable. So seems likely he will be available, but we probably won't know until game time. And hopefully you are not relying on Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. The Buccaneers are at Green Bay in Lambeau Field to take on the Packers. Chris Godwin listed as questionable, a true game time decision. Don't think he practiced at all this week, so that's a little worrisome. Coming off a big game, but hasn't been his best season. On the other side of the ball, Aaron Jones with the knee, questionable. A.J. Dillon broke his thumb on Monday night. He too is questionable, and they're not sure how they will set him up to secure the football. That will be a concern. Dontavian Wicks also questionable with his ankle injury. Christian Watson listed as doubtful, not expected to play. Jaden Reed off the injury report. He had an ankle injury as well. He is off the injury report. It seems like a really good play in this game. Great matchup for them. We'll see what happens with Jones and A.J. Dillon. Seems like Jones is on the verge of returning. He practiced all week last week, and there's some talk that maybe that horrible field at MetLife Stadium was one of the reasons he wasn't active for that game. So we'll see. Sunday, late afternoon window. Not a lot of games here. The Commanders are at the Rams. Pass happy, bombs away, probably so. Brian Robinson Jr. adding to that has been ruled out, the running back with a hamstring injury. So Antonio Gibson will have his role. Sounds like Chris Rodriguez, the rookie, will get a little run in this one as well. So interesting there. Tutu Atwell has a concussion on the other side. Listed as questionable, outlook uncertain for him. We'll have to watch. Demarcus Robinson seems like a reasonable pivot there and has 15 targets over the last 2 weeks. He's played reasonably well, but this is going to be a pass-happy game. You can expect Matt Stafford to be leaning heavily on Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, but also Kyren Williams. Don't sleep on Kyren Williams. How can you sleep on a guy that's top 10 running back, Bob Harris? I don't know. And on the other side, Sam Howell, obviously a good play. The Rams, not the impenetrable matchup either. The 49ers are at the Cardinals, speaking of impenetrable matchups, or at least tough matchups. We have for the Cardinals, Marquise Brown is listed as questionable with the heel issue ongoing. He's called himself day-to-day. Sounds like he's going to try and give it a go. Michael Wilson, the rookie receiver, has a shoulder injury. He's missed some time, a couple games, and then played a game, then missed a couple more games. It looks like he's trending towards being back. Elijah Mitchell on the other side of the ball has been ruled out. For the Cowboys at the Bills in Buffalo, Brandon Cooks and Jalen Tolbert both listed as questionable due to illness. The Cowboys, Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, et al. Have suggested they expect certainly Cooks to play. So you'll be wanting to watch. You'll want to have a fallback plan in place, right? Just in case, but I kind of want to play Cooks myself. The Sunday night's game, Ravens and Jaguars, no injury issues, at least on the offensive side of the ball. All the Jaguars Remember when Trevor Lawrence had a high ankle sprain like 2 weeks ago, and he's like played last week on it without an issue, and this week he's not even on the injury report, or at least no designation. Travis Etienne also has the rib issue. He has no designation in this game. Jamal Agnew is questionable. He's trying to work his way back from IR. Don't know that it'll be activated. We'll watch for that by the 4 p.m. deadline today. Ravens, everybody's good to go. The Monday night game, Eagles and Seahawks. Geno Smith. Not sure if he's going to be ready to go or not. He seems to be trending in a positive direction for the Eagles. Darius Slay, an already depleted secondary, got more depleted when Darius Slay underwent surgery, I guess, yesterday. And he will miss this game. Could be back next week. Had a procedure done. So there you have it. Week 15. It's winning time, people. So hopefully you get that win, and we'll see you here next week for week 16. Good luck.